Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Shady Hello there, YouTube. It is I, your unfriendly neighborhood Skeletor. And today, I, Skeletor, am going to do another top 10 list. That's right. The last one did so well, I thought, let's do it again. Today, I, Skeletor, am going to react to a channel called Laura Legends. I don't know if that's her real name, or if she just considers herself a legend. And a video on her channel called Top 10 Most Diabolical 80's Cartoon Villains. Now, it's easy to see why Skeletor was so attracted to this idea. I want to know where I, Skeletor, rank on her list. I rank number 1 on my list on everything. But this isn't about what I think. I want to know what you all think, and where Skeletor ranks on your most top diabolical villains of all time. But we'll see what Laura Legends has to say for herself. So without further ado, let's watch this thing, shall we? Laura Legends, stay legendary. Yes, I think I shall.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going...
Let's look at all these 80s cartoons. Already I'm not impressed. I mean, look at that. Where's Skeletor? I am nowhere in this picture. Oh, sure, you got that whiner, Cobra Commander, but you don't have me. I am insulted. You got He-Man there, and he's hitting on Jim. You even have Baby Kermit the Frog, but you don't have Skeletor. I'm not sure I'm going to like this.
We're going to take a look at the 10 most diabolical cartoon villains from the 80s. Now, these are...
And then she shows images of nothing but heroes. You could have at least found some villains for this video, Laura Legends.
No particular order, and at the end, I'm gonna get you guys to comment...
No particular order? Wait a minute. It's a top 10. You're supposed to have a particular order. That's the point of a top 10. If it's not in a particular order, then it's just a haphazard 10. It's chaos, I say. Chaos. Whatever.
To comment down below and tell me who you think is the scary...
Again, I'm not in any of these photos. Just Cobra Commander. Why is Cobra Commander the only villain you guys put here? Has he been secretly a hero this whole time? Well, then makes kind of some sense. He's been a bungling fool the whole time. Maybe he's been secretly sabotaging Cobra, which is why they had to get Serpentor.
Scariest and most diabolical villain you would not want to face in real life. So without further ado, let's get...
They even have the guy from Goonies. Hey, you guys! Still no Skeletor yet.
Started. Number 10. No Heart from Care Bears.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nope.
The ultimate SJW cartoon. We're going to defeat you with the power of love. And they shoot love juice out of their stomachs. Here's my love juice. Only in the 80s can this show exist.
No Heart is the primary villain in the Care Bears television...
Where's his face? No Heart should have been called No Face.
...series running from 1985 to 1988. He lives in his castle, which lies inside a storm cloud and rarely leaves his residence. No Heart's face is never visible, always wearing his purple and red colored robes.
Which makes you wonder, if he doesn't even want to show his face, it's gotta be even worse than mine.
So, we don't really know if he's not wearing any clothes under there. But his glowing red eyes...
Well, nobody wears clothes under their clothes. We're all kind of naked under our clothes. That's the very nature of clothes.
Eyes and bushy eyebrows can be seen protruding from the darkness. He also has a niece named Shrieky, whose shrieks have the power to transform her uncle into an animal and has no control over it happening.
Shrieky, eh? Well, Evelyn's kind of like that, except for I call her Naggy. She has the power to nag you to death.
Like any evil sorcerer, No Heart uses magic and has a magic amulet, but specializes in transformation and shape-shifting, and can command his dark shadows, which he most likely created himself.
I like that power. I gotta find a similar power for myself.
I shall rid the world of all love, all caring.
With the goal of...
Is he related to Klaus Schwab?
Goal of destroying the Care Bears and all caring in the world to, quote, make it easier for him to take over the world, always irritable, in a bad mood, and actually implying to eat a gentle heart lamb by saying he'll be having lamb chops tonight. No Heart is more...
Well, what's the big deal? Most humans are in that category, are they not? Do you not eat pork chops? Are you a vegan?
Is more like that ex you had years ago that seemed to literally have no heart, which makes this character so realistic, it's scary! No.
You go there, girlfriend. I know exactly what you're saying.
Number 9. Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe.
Cobra Commander's only number 9. I thought he was going to be number 1, considering he was in all of our previous pictures.
Cobra Commander Commander is the primary antagonist of the G.I. Joe series, running from 1983 to 1986. He is the...
And I have to say, while I hate all other villains other than myself, I do think that Cobra Commander's mask is quite iconic. Both of them. The cowl he wears and that faceless one. It's very interesting how, in the 80s, there was a lot of evil villains without a face. I wonder why there was that trend. Even I, for example, I'm a skeleton, but I technically don't have a face either. 80s children were scared of faceless people.
is the ruthless, insane, and somewhat whiny leader of Cobra, a terrorist organization.
How dare he do that? Get him off the screen!
That voice actor must have had to drink a lot of warm honey tea and gurgle before every episode. I believe he was also the voice actor who did Starscream. How the hell do you get your voice to get that high and not have your larynx rip itself out every time? Ah!
Ignore Cobra Commander. He's a jerk. That is disgusting.
He is...
That's disgusting. How dare I get ignored by my enemies? I agree with Cobra Commander there. That is quite annoying.
He is known to have started political and social conflict in a number of areas around the world while fighting the heroic G.I. Joe team by amassing an army, promising money and power and vengeance for those on the world.
How much money do you think Cobra Commander possesses? I mean, just think about all the tanks and all the jets that he loses in an episode, and then he just replenishes them the next day. Who funds Cobra Commander's enterprise? This guy must have endless amounts of money. I'm guessing it's Bill Gates. I mean, we know it's not Elon Musk.
We shall seize control of the world.
In return, he demands absolute loyalty to his cause of world domination. His skills and hobbies include being a master manipulator, swordsman, and verbally abusing his men. He can take...
It kind of goes with the territory of being an 80s evil villain, does it not? Being verbally abusive?
take on various disguises and can be seen generally in two forms: a blue military uniform with a helmet embossed with the Cobra symbol covered in a smooth metal-like mask,
which is pretty iconic, almost as iconic as me.
Or in a more comfortable getup with a blue hood over his face. Although
that's not exactly more comfortable. I mean, it's just a hood over your face. I'm pretty sure that mask must have had some kind of air pocket for him to breathe. A cowl over your face, I would imagine, is harder to breathe.
A self-proclaimed evil genius, his plots at times are so far-fetched and insane they seem comical. Like blowing up the ocean. Number 8.
Well, that's a good plan. You blow up all the water in the world, you kind of cripple the world. That's not such a bad plan. Hey, Mr. Burns wanted to block out the sun.
Overlord from the 1982 cartoon Black Star.
I am John Blackstar.
Overlord is a very powerful sorcerer, native to the planet of Sagar. He comes...
Hagar from the planet of Sagar. I'm not sure who ripped who off first, He-Man or this guy. I mean, they're all derivatives of Conan the Barbarian.
Comes from a long line of evil rulers and holds the Power Sword, seeking to rejoin it with its other half that his enemy John Blackstar holds.
Again, two swords. Breaking apart. Have to combine to make one more powerful sword. Another one of those 80s tropes.
Star Sword, to form the Power Star, which he will use to crush the rebellion and rule all of Sagar.
Very well, but just this one.
But John Blackstar...
I have to say that a lot of these 80s heroes refuse to wear shirts. They really have an overexposed nipple fetish. I mean, all the villains seem to be clothed. And hey, we finally have a villain that doesn't hide his face. So, improvement there. But heroes, put a shirt on. What's wrong with you?
Blackstar, a lost Earth astronaut and space explorer, is the only thing standing in Overlord's way. His stronghold is the Ice Castle, where he had...
They even fight in an ice castle, and he still refuses to put on a shirt. That's how committed he is for you to see his hot masculine bod. I don't care if I freeze my nipples out here. I'm never putting on a shirt.
He has many minions and allies sworn to obey him. The Overlord's cruelty seems to be especially pronounced in the case of the Trobbit people, a race of diminutive, peaceful beings often targeted by
Trobbit, no affiliation with Hobbit. I think this guy needs to get an ear job. I wouldn't want to walk around with ears that big. I don't even care if I can hear a pin drop or fly like Dumbo. Way too cumbersome and not worth it.
Overlord and his forces until the arrival of John Blackstar. Overlord appears as a must...
See? He's not so bad. He's got a pet. And he looks like he loves him. Look how he's cuddling him. Don't worry. I'll give you your ear job you need.
Muscular purple-pink man with sharp teeth, yellow eyes, and a freaky helmet that kind of reminds me of Hexadecimal from Reboot.
No, I really don't see it. That was kind of a reach.
Number 7. Monstar from Silverhawks.
Silverhawks cartoon has one of the most iconic intros out of all the 80s cartoons, in my opinion. I think it's the same guys who did Thundercats.
Monstar is the mob boss and main antagonist of the 1986 cartoon.
Another 80s evil trope. If he has a face, well, you can be sure that he lost an eye somewhere. As you can see, he's got one patch on his eye. Very 80s tropey.
Cartoon Silverhawks. He is the local criminal kingpin in Limbo and can be seen riding Skyrunner, a giant squid.
Squid in space. Sometimes you guys can be too creative. What does Monstar fly? Well, he flies a giant squid. In the ocean? No, in space. Okay, sure, makes sense. Like I've said before, the 80s just did not give a damn. This is why it was so good.
He has been around Limbo for over 300 years and has escaped from Penal Planet 10, a maximum...
He said penal. FYI, Shaney just made me watch Beavis and Butthead.
security prison twice, and breaking out many other convicts. He has a personal vendetta against Stargazer of the Silverhawks for his second capture, and therefore opposes all connected to the Silverhawks.
Give me your power, your energy.
With
A lot of these voice actors must have really destroyed their throats after doing the villains.
feline features, he appears as a muscular humanoid with dark hair streaked with red, a large mane, beard, and an eye patch with the
He was a reject from the Thundercats.
symbol of a black star covering his left eye. He has above normal strength, capable of beating through an armor plate to gain the light of Limbo's Moonstar. Once endowed with the light of Limbo's Moonstar, Monstar's body
Say that 5 times fast now. I wonder how many takes she took to read this all out. Quite the tongue twister there.
transforms entirely, covered in or converted to robotic armor with increased strength. He has jets on his elbows, allowing him to fly through space or fire red energy blasts. But
the evil Iron Man.
after transforming, his most dangerous ability is the star-like blasts that come from his temporarily restored eye, which can do damage, hold foes, and even hypnotize. Number 6. Venger from Dungeons and Dragons.
Your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
Admittedly, I never watched this. I'm not sure if Shaney did, but I never did. Maybe I should do a reaction to this.
Venger is the main antagonist in the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
His face looks like a face from The Exorcist. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Doesn't he? Doesn't he look like that face that pops up during The Exorcist?
Cartoon series, and he is a very treacherous villain who expects his orders to be carried out without failure.
Well, what evil villain wants failure? I don't think you're gonna find any evil villain out there that says, I accept failure. Failure is a part of life. Now it's part of our DNA. How dare you fail, you fool? I banish you from the castle. If you actually accepted failure, you probably weren't an evil villain to begin with. Now that's okay, buddy. We'll get him next time. I know you tried your best.
Greetings, Kelleck. Of course, what?
This creepy winged guy has a single horn on his head, sharp pointy teeth.
That single horn, was he supposed to have 2 and it just went wrong? What happened there? Was it cut off? People who watch this show, let me know.
Ghostly blue skin, and wears a scary red outfit with
And a dress! Why does he wear a dress? The first transgender evil villain. Very progressive for the time.
I guess a blue skirt. Venger is an evil demon-like creature
who now looks like the Joker for some reason. Each picture he looks completely different.
Sole purpose is to defeat the Dungeon Master and claim the realm as his own. The only way he can achieve this is by acquiring the magical weapons and artifacts the 6 children were given by the Dungeon Master.
He can't even beat 6 children? You'd never be able to stand up against He-Man, that's for sure. Maybe remove your dress, you'd have more power.
With dark and powerful sorceries such as necromancy, element manipulation, and shapeshifting, the children...
Again, look, another image, and he looks completely different in each one.
And Dungeon Master are forced to fight Venger and his forces, as well as helping the villages terrorized by him, sidetracking the kids from their main objective of finding a way home.
Can you explain to me why a guy with wings needs a flying horse with no wings? Maybe the horse should be riding him.
Turns out Venger just has a bad case of daddy issues, as it is later revealed he is the Dungeon Master's son.
Daddy, you hate me, so I'm going to conquer the world just to prove you wrong. I call that an actual failure on the Dungeon Master. Can't you take care of your child? Ground him or something. Send him to his room without supper. And who the hell is his mother? Because something went wrong with the genetics there. If he looks more like his mother, then I question your taste in women.
Number 5. Megatron from Transformers.
Really? Megatron number 5? See, I would have put Megatron a lot higher than 5. He was quite ruthless and quite efficient.
Transformers, the Lord that makes you blind.
Megatron is the founder of the Decepticon Uprising and their most fearless leader. As a young leader forced into battle, he began to believe in a grand purpose for his race, the Transformers' glorious destiny to rule an empire which would span the universe. So
Again, I can get behind all of these purposes. That's the one thing I like about evil villains. Like myself, we have clear-cut goals and we go for it. You should be more like villains in your life.
So he's essentially a space Hitler robot.
Your knowledge is only overshadowed by your stupidity.
His arch rival is Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, who Megatron believes betrayed their proud heritage by demanding peace and cooperation with weaker life forms. Megatron
That fool. That's why he loses in a movie. He's too soft-hearted, like He-Man.
will stop at nothing to achieve his goals, but his schemes are rarely in any way subtle, perhaps due to his arrogance, and he often shows cowardice concealed in rage. Although not as physically strong as Optimus Prime, his ability to analyze the situation and use it as a weapon makes him deadly.
Well, he himself is a weapon.
With the use of his fusion cannon and mace. Megatron could transform into 3 guns, a Walter P-38 handgun, a particle beam cannon, and a telescopic laser cannon. He has the ability to transform between his robotic shape and various weapons or vehicles, but the alternate modes, his origins, and even his personality can vary depending on which universe he's depicted in. Next,
You know, I really admire that power. I wish I could transform myself into a weapon. I ask you all in the comments, if Skeletor was to transform into a vehicle, what vehicle do you think Skeletor would transform into? A tank? A jet fighter plane? A motorcycle? To be honest, I'm kind of partial to a monster truck. I roll over a lot of my foes that way.
next time you order an Uber, think twice before getting into this guy's car. Number 4.
That didn't make sense. He's not a car, and he's a Decepticon. That was a bit of a stretch, Laura. But you're doing a bang-up job. Keep going.
Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We just did this cartoon. Uncle Phil is number 4, everyone. I'm glad she didn't put Krang. Krang's like the worst.
Shredder, also known as Orokusaki, is the arch nemesis to Splinter and his 4 mutant turtle pupils. He is the leader of the criminal organization known as the Foot Clan and has the appearance to go along with his rank. He is a muscular Japanese man wearing a suit of armor.
He's a muscular Japanese man.
Armor based on that of a samurai with a purple cape. He has blade-covered metal plaques on his shoulders, forearms,
And a lot of self-inflicted cuts. He can't put on his armor without getting a cut, which is why he's called Shredder. Underneath, his skin is all shredded.
hands, and shins, and wears a metal ninja-style mask helmet.
Polish turtle, did you really think you could beat a ninja master?
In the 1987
Well, I mean, yes. Because they always do.
series, Orokusaki, Shredder, and Hamato Yoshi, Splinter, were both members of the Foot Clan in Japan. After Saki framed Yoshi for the attempted murder
I thought he stabbed him in the back. I was like, that's pretty dark for a kid's cartoon. And then he just stuck him into the wall. I was like, oh, that's not evil.
of a visiting sensei, Yoshi was forced to exile himself to the New York City sewers, where he lived with his 4 pet turtles that were accidentally dropped down a storm drain, and the ooze did the rest. Shredder is extremely cunning, intelligent, and is said to have an IQ of 300. But
300? Who said that? Himself? I mean, anybody with that kind of intelligence wouldn't associate with Rocksteady and Bebop, I don't think. Unless he just wants really, really stupid people to make himself look really, really smart by comparison. Maybe there's like a curve that he's grading by. Bebop and Rocksteady are like the norm. That's why he's got a 300 IQ. He's basing it on Bebop and Rocksteady, which are like a -2.
But in the 1987 series, he is portrayed as an evil but incompetent villain rather than the lethal ninja he was originally shown to be, generally bickering about tactics with his partner in crime, Krang.
Must be Krang now. Shredder here.
Shredder here. How you doing, honey buns?
Oh, Shredder, how's the air down there? What?
However, he is shown in the cartoon to have considerable martial arts skills, often shown to surpass the turtles and only be equaled by Splinter. Number 3. Skeletor from He-Man.
Yes, Skeletor. Number 3, though. Nah, I don't buy it. Well, she did say it wasn't in any particular order. So I can't get too upset. For all I know, I'm ho number 1. Whatever.
and the Masters of the Universe.
Skeletor is the arch nemesis to He-Man in the 1983 to 1985 series He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Skeletor
Look at He-Man looking at me lustfully with his eyes. You're not getting a piece of this action there, He-Man. Forget it. And put your shirt on, you fool. No one wants to see your nipples anymore.
Skeletor's goal is to possess the secrets of Castle Grayskull, whereby he could become
Which is rightfully mine. My face fits right in there. Like, come on, belongs to me.
the master of Eternia and the universe. But there's only one man in Skeletor's way.
Why do they always put this bloody picture up? Is this always to make me look bad? Why? This and me holding that blasted dog. I told you, He-Man. It'll never happen between us. Now put your shirt on.
He-Man.
Why do I surround myself with fools?
Tis true. Why?
After the introduction of the villain Hordak, Skeletor's former teacher, we are provided with
I hated Hordak. When they brought him in, he had to steal my thunder. Him and his fancy cannon arm that could transform into different things. He was like the Megatron for the Masters of the Universe, only much dumber.
with a glimpse into Skeletor's past. Along with the rebooted 2002 He-Man series, we now know that Skeletor is in fact He-Man's uncle Keldor, brother to
Look at that handsome mug. Life was cruel to Keldor.
He-Man's father, King Randor. Skeletor is blue-skinned with a muscular build, attributed to the fact his mother was of
My mother was a Smurf.
Gar descent, a race of blue-skinned humanoids who were once a noble race of philosophers and craftsmen. His demonesque appearance
Yes, just like me, except for not very crafty.
is accentuated with his glowing yellow exposed skull, along with his purple hood and loincloth. His trusty purple feline Panther is the evil equivalent to He-Man's battle cat.
Get him, Panther!
I trained him well. Bite him, Panther. Bite his nipples off so we don't have to see them anymore.
Why, Panther, how nice to see you.
Skeletor is also equipped with a magical staff, along with the powers of dark sorcery.
And ravishing good looks.
He is also known for his immature behavior, like when he attempted to hijack a circus troupe because the owner refused to perform at Snake Mountain. Skeletor is certainly
Yes, what's wrong with that? I mean, how dare he? Sure, he can perform for that moron King Randor, but he can't perform for Skeletor?
certainly someone you don't want to see peering at you from a dark alleyway, with the starlight revealing
Yes, if he's got eyes like that, that's more creepy than what I have.
that demonesque silhouette of his. If his powers and looks alone aren't enough to send you running, then maybe his insults can at least send you crying.
Listen, honey, I know you're just trying to butter me up, but it's not working. I'm spoken for. Well, kind of. Evil is my real love, and I'm not talking about Lynn. I'm just talking about being evil.
You pathetic pair of pitiful pinheads! It's the sorceress, you boob! You metal-munching moron! Skeletor to King Randor! Come in, you royal boob!
Now,
That's my favorite one. You royal boob. That's why I should have been number one. Out of all the villains, I'm the most entertaining.
number 2, Hordak from She-Ra.
Hordak number 2. You put Hordak above me, you fool. All right, Skeletor, calm down. She said this isn't in any particular order. Fine. Just gotta keep that in mind. So Hordak isn't technically above Skeletor. Now, then again, you put him at number 2. That's appropriate. He is a number 2.
As leader of the evil horde, Hordak is certainly a force not to be reckoned with. Hordak is the former mentor to Skeletor, who was betrayed by his
Stop bringing that up. I hate that man. I couldn't take all this snorting. It was really distracting. Every 5 seconds.
pupil and trapped in another dimension before beginning his own quest of the planet Eternia and being the arch nemesis to She-Ra, who he kidnapped with Skeletor when she was only an infant. Hordak can be easily recognized by his white bone-colored face with piercing red eyes, a
And gimpy cannon arm. He stole my look. I mean, he can't even tell if he wants to be a skeleton or not. Make up your mind. Are you an elf or a skeleton?
flat snout-like nose with vampire fangs and pointed bat ears, taking on the appearance of a robot-like vampire. He wears a collar of bones and black armor marked with the Horde bat symbol. Hordak is seen using
He's the evil Batman.
technology more so than magic and has the ability to transform his body into mechanical weapons. And his trusty shape-shifting spy imp is never
See, this is what I never understood. If he was such a great teacher, right? He was my mentor, then why didn't he teach me those tricks? Never taught me to turn my arm into a cannon. That's why he was a horrible teacher.
never too far away to report on members of the rebellion. With a creepy voice that tends to snort now and then to go along with this already creepy appearance, you might want to think twice before bringing this one home to meet mom and dad. And
Laura, are you looking through the villains as a potential mate? Let me guess, you're into the bad boy. I can't blame you. A lot more exciting than those do-gooding morons, that's for sure. Well, if you get lonely, hit up old Skeletor here. I got a place for you in my army. I'll move Evelyn down the line. She may not like it, but who cares what she likes?
Number 1, Mum-Ra from Thundercats.
Mum-Ra, number 1. No way. That fool has a horrible weakness. He gets scared of his own image. He hates his look so much he goes in and hides in his sarcophagus. Number 1, right bony behind.
Mum-Ra the Ever-Living is the main antagonist to the Thundercats, who found their way to Third Earth after their home planet of Thundera was destroyed. Obsessed with ridding these pesky intruders off his planet and obtaining Lion-O's powerful Sword of Omens for himself, he will stop at nothing till he is the ruler of Third Earth. Mum-Ra...
Wait, hold on. Isn't he already the ruler of Third Earth by the time they get there? He was the ruling ruler at the time, was he not? He just didn't like the upstart Thundercats.
Mum-Ra is a sorcerer demon priest and an ancient native on the planet of Third Earth, serving as the undead focus for the 4 ancient spirits of evil, who provide Mum-Ra with immortality through his sarcophagus in exchange for perpetual servitude.
And again, he also, for some reason, surrounds himself with absolute morons. What is it about us villains? Why can't we find good help? Is it really that hard?
He resides in his black pyramid as a withered corpse-like being and can alter his form into a muscular fiend with additional...
I've always said, his black pyramid needs a little sprucing up. It's too depressing. He could use a few plants or something. Spruce up the place.
Additional evil powers by chanting the phrase, "Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form." He even has a more powerful form as Mum-Ra the All-Powerful, and in his additional...
And a problem with his saliva gland, as you can clearly see as he's salivating everywhere.
form, Mum-Ra the Dream Master, he is able to enter dreams. With his horde of scheming...
If he's entering your dream, it's no longer a dream. It's definitely a nightmare at that point.
unfaithful mutants by his side, it seems the Thundercats always thwart his plots. However, if Mum-Ra catches a glimpse of his own reflection, he reverts to his mummified form and flees...
See what I mean? That's a really horrible, glaring weakness. I mean, why did they even bother fighting him? They should have just walked around with a giant mirror the whole time. Wouldn't even give him a chance. That's how dumb the Thundercats were. They always waited for him to just semi-catch a glimpse on the sword or something. Hell, I would have put the mirror right in front of his sarcophagus. You walk out, boom, you see yourself in the... go back in. I mean, I always wondered what his actual goal was. I mean, what does he do all day? He sleeps in a sarcophagus. What does he need to rule the world for? Unless he's one of those really grumpy old guys that's like, everyone's making too much noise out there. I cannot sleep. I gotta destroy everyone. Or then his other goal might be just gouge the eyes of all other human beings so they don't have to look at his ugly face.
Flees to his pyramid, where the ancient spirits of evil revive him. If being an absolute master of magic, powers of mind control, shape-shifting, summoning enemies, dark sorcery, and vision aren't enough to send you into the fetal position under the covers...
Fetal position under the covers? Because of a guy who can't see his own reflection? No, no way.
Just imagine this living corpse watching you in the rain across a dimly lamplit road.
Yes, that's the first thing I thought of, was me walking down the road and then Mum-Ra just glaring at me. Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form into pervert Ra! The ever peeping!
He's scary! So there you have...
I guess she's not attracted to Mum-Ra.
Guys, the top 10 most evil and diabolically scary 80s cartoon villains. In the comments down below, let me know who you'd most likely pee your pants against if you had to face one of these villains in the flesh. I'm pretty sure...
None! I, Skeletor, am the most evil of all. They should be peeing their pants at the sight of me.
I'd pee my pants for all 10 of them. And if you think I missed...
Somebody get Laura Legends some clean underwear.
someone crucial, leave it in the comments down below. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I come out with new videos every week. Come check me out on social media and help support the channel on Patreon.
Yes, everyone, do what she says. Go on her channel right now and subscribe. She's fun. I like her, despite her obvious fetish for evil villains. All except for Mum-Ra.
So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay legendary.
Did she just blow me a kiss? All right, there you have it. Skeletor ranked number 3 on that list. Well, I know it wasn't in order, but still, I wanted to be number 1 either way. Where would you have ranked Skeletor on that list? I, of course, would have ranked me number 1. Do you agree with me on Mumra? Not a very imposing villain if you walk around with a mirror. That's even worse than kryptonite for Superman. Anyway, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Shaneology. Until next time.